There's a reason we have this forgetfulness of the bigger reality. Because if it didn't feel tough and limited and real here, we wouldn't make this kind of inner transformation and progress that we came here to do. It's like we chose the challenges of our lives to prove to ourselves how to overcome them. And it's in that journey where the gain is.
Aloha! Do you enjoy connecting with visionaries who generate positive change? Curious about how they keep a courageous focus above the status quo? Are you ready to embrace your own wholeness and potential? I'm your host, Colleen Akiko. This podcast aims to help prepare and equip you to fully embody your unique purpose for inner and outer compassionate transformation. So tune in, catch a spark, and we can all show up to blazingly be the change. This segment of Rising Through Trauma into Healing finds us lingering at the veil between the earthly and the afterlife. Angelika gives a fortifying message to those struggling with suicidal thoughts and the empowerment when we realize our purpose for being here and the importance of doing our inner work. Also, have you ever considered the hurtful impact of giving your inner child spiritual lectures? We'll discuss this and how cherishing every aspect of ourselves makes all the difference. Angelika also introduces a deeply effective healing modality called cognitive movement. Enjoy this animated conversation infused with joyful wisdom for transforming our personal and collective realities. Episodes of We Be the Change may discuss sensitive topics such as abuse, trauma, violence, addiction, and more. These conversations focus on overcoming challenges with hope and compassion. The hosts and guests may hold different viewpoints, but we value respect, appreciation, and mutual learning. Views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and may not reflect the policies or positions of any entity. The podcast's content is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. Songrise LLC assumes no liability for errors or omissions.
People that have had near-death experiences, some of them experience kind of a hell realm, but there is subconscious guilt, there is a subconscious belief, I deserve that, or religious conditioning, that's what's going to happen to all humans because we're all flawed, we're all in sin. So these beliefs, especially the subconscious hidden beliefs, is what we experience when we leave here. So it's very important to set it right now while we still can. I just want to say something very important to all of our listeners. Because in my history and in our family, there was a lot of suicidal ideation. And my nephew, my sister's son, actually did die that way. And so I just wanted to say, no matter how hard your life is, no matter how insurmountable your problems are, just stay. If you just stay, if you're just willing to stay and ask for help, and even if you can't see a pathway, this life, no matter how miserable you are, it is so valuable. And if you stay through it, you will receive the help that you need. I promise. I promise. So do not end this life deliberately. It is an incredible opportunity, especially right now. There are so many souls that want to experience this time, and many are not up for it. And I can understand that this is not for the faint of heart. It's like we're living in the epic sagas of Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, all of them all at once, all playing out right now. And we're the little hobbits. We're the little Frodo has to go up that mountain. But It's so worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It's such an opportunity. It doesn't come along.
Mm.
It's unique.
Yes. None of us are here at this time by accident. It is on purpose.
So
So on
however it is, reach out for help, but stay, be willing to stay. Just know we're playing out a story. It's gonna turn out okay.
And we're not alone. We're so loved. Yeah.
Even when you don't feel it.
Yes.
That's the tricky part. There were many times where I wanted to leave this planet. I really did. I couldn't see a way out. And that's, I think, what creates suicidal ideation and action.
Yes.
It's when you don't see a way out, but there is a way. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean there isn't any. So
Yes. Amen.
it takes that kind of courage to stay, because leaving it's actually not an act of courage to leave. The act of staying through it, that's the courage. And that's the courage it takes right now on Earth.
Mm.
So please, please take these words to heart and share them with anyone in your life that is troubled and wants to leave. And if you tune in intuitively, you can sense it. Share this podcast with them. Let them listen to these words. And reach out. I'm available to help people. I know I can help people to a degree where they no longer have that idea.
Mm.
Because I could in myself.
Yes. And I'll put this at the end of the episode as well. But you can be easily reached at angelikahealingmusic.com. Angelika with a K.
Yeah, that's the important part, because it's a
Yes.
German spelling. We don't spell with C, we use a K. So it's Angel, IKA, healingmusic.com. And there's a contact page. I always get the messages.
Yes. No, you are really responsive.
Yeah.
And
Colleen, one more thing. I
yes.
really believe that those that I am meant to assist, they will find me, they will come to me. So I never advertise. I don't promote myself. I don't know how it works. It seems like magic, but it's this deep trust that those who are meant to be helped, assisted by me, they will find me. And it's magical. They always do.
Yes.
And it's a match.
Yes.
I can tell it's a match made in heaven. It's divinely orchestrated. One of my teachers is cute. He calls it UI, not AI, UI, Universal Intelligence. That. Just that UI.
Yeah.
It arranges all things. It's in us and all around us.
Yes. Yes. The I am that is all that we can think or imagine. Yes. Well, you were talking about your life as a child. I was thinking how difficult to be in that environment day in and day out and stay in your body. And then as you're speaking about the strong temptation that so many people feel to exit their body, and you as a person, as a being, you are actually a walking, talking testimony of what can happen when the circumstances and conditions are unbearable and yet you stay. The pain that you witnessed around you, that you took in from your family, that you experienced yourself, was insurmountable, seeming to be too much. And I have had a share of that as well. And there is that temptation to shut down and to check out. And that is so strong. I remember myself a moment where I felt I was nothing but ashes. There was no life there to even stay in. And yet I stayed, and it was a portal, a doorway that opened into learning in a whole way what healing and wholeness was always there. It was just blocked. Yeah, that's how I connected with the modalities and tools that are in my inner toolbox. I love the way that you speak what you've spoken with your whole being and your whole life. It's not just something you went to school and learned in your head.
I learned in this tough school of Earth.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's interesting when you said we wanted to we want to leave and that urge is strong, people think it's when we destroy the body that pain goes away, but it doesn't really, because it's on another level. It's in the spirit, it's in the heart, it's in that part of us that continues. So it's not a solution. The body is just like a rental car. It's an interface. What helps me a lot is to know that the consciousness, the awareness of the all that is just for a little while physically focused right now on earth, to the exclusion of all these other realities. It's excluding all those. It's physically focused, but there's a reason we have this forgetfulness of the bigger reality. Because if it didn't feel tough and limited and real here, we wouldn't make this kind of inner transformation and progress that we came here to do. It's like we chose the challenges of our lives to prove to ourselves how to overcome them. And it's in that journey where the gain is. Even if it's all made up, it's all projected, but that's where the gain is. That's what we're here for. So since I really know that, I've said fully yes to it. So destroying the body is just like you're destroying the rental car, but you will continue without the rental car, and it's going to be even harder.
Yeah, you'll be stuck on the
Yeah.
side of the road and waiting for a ride.
Yeah, exactly. But what we want to really escape is the pain, the suffering. And for that, yes, the body can express that pain and suffering as physical issues and sickness and pain. But the origin of the pain is in our emotional, psychological, spiritual bodies. It's in our inner world. And to set right the inner world. So for that, there is always a solution, even if you cannot see it. And I searched for so long. I was very tenacious. And so even the tools that I found, they helped a little bit. TRE, EFT, havening, just, you name them all. They helped a little bit, but nothing was really that tool that I wanted to be able to transform this inner fear and anxiety about life on earth, not feeling safe, feeling separated. It's deep in the nervous system. And now I understand. And so cognitive movement has helped to integrate those layers enough to where the spiritual being could finally just be and shine and come out. And so, again, it's not about leaving the body. It's about not going around or over or under anything. It's about going right through it, right into it. So the principle of the way I work with people is to create a safe space, completely non-judgmental, completely unconditionally loving. So anything is welcome to come up. Anger, rage, fear, pain, crying, snotting, the whole thing is welcome. There is only a few ground rules. You don't get to harm yourself or me or the property around, but anything else goes. So when the nervous system feels safe to actually be honest and explore what is deep down, what we suppress in the name of spiritual teachings.
Yes.
Thing. The spiritual teachings are often a detriment to our inner child and our inner being that is so hurt and never has been heard or been able to express. Matt Kahn, he has this great saying. He says, if you give the inner child spiritual lectures, it turns gangster. And so we create this safe space, and then we go into the nervous system. And when someone tells a story, like one person said, if I just had a few $1 million, I would really feel good. All the problems would be over. And so I actually emphasized that with the person. Yes, you're right. If you just had enough money, all your problems would end. Everything would be fine. Life would be perfect. I really, as we move the eyes. And then what happens is we're actually allowing the nervous system to explore its deep hidden beliefs. The inner child has these strategies and it knows the answer. If I just had this, if I just had the right mommy and daddy, my needs were met, then everything would be fine. And I emphasize it and I help them go into it. And when the nervous system hears itself, it finally comes to light what it actually thinks. They start laughing. They see how it's actually the logic of a little kid. It's funny. But then that's the healing.
Yes.
Then when you finally see what's been stuck in there, you're no longer ruled by it.
You see it for what it is.
Yeah, and it literally rewires the brain. It makes new neural pathways. It's absolutely incredible. And that has given me so much joy, especially since with my sister, she lives in Germany. She had even more trauma than me. She's 3 years younger and we were the only kids. she had such a struggle and such a hard life. And I always wanted to help her, but I never could. And so we were separated. She put me on a pedestal. I couldn't really reach her. I couldn't help her to feel worthy or anything. And then when I finally got her to do cognitive movement with me on WhatsApp, a little phone, that's all we have.
Mm.
It transformed her life too. And it maybe all the work I've done benefited her, but she never did a spiritual course or a spiritual book or anything, but her nervous system processed it lightning speed.
Mm.
I laid the groundwork and it benefited her. And that was my heart's desire.
Yes.
Now I am actually looking up to her. She is accomplishing that I say, I don't know if I'll ever learn that. Like,
Wow.
be meta with people that abuse her in a store and just be amused and watch. And I go, oh, I could never do that. I would just
Wow.
punch back. Or how she is so wise with her grandchild. I am just astounded. And it's been the biggest gift of this life to have this relationship with my sister. I get to know her for the first time. And we're working around the world. And we're always saying, okay, it's like we're holding hands.
Mhm.
World is in between us. We're doing your work over there. I'm doing work over here, but we're doing it together because you and I have the same ancestry. We have the same ancestral lineage patterns.
Mm.
We are transforming together, and our whole lineage is being healed through that and the generations after us.
Mm.
So it's this unbelievably fulfilling, deeply sacred work that we're doing. And it is with tears, and it is with laughter, and it is with everything in between. And it's just the best. It's the best gift.
Mm.
No, I don't want to move to a perfect planet. I want to be right here where I am with all
There's
this fear
such
and heartache. And
Yes, such joy in the awakening and such freedom. I was thinking as you were talking about you and your sister joining in that place that transcends times and distances and healing with your own awakening into what is truly real, the trauma in your lineage. And every once in a while, I receive a glimpse even beyond. The other day, for some reason, something flashed in my heart and mind about those who have been maimed in war, who are missing an arm or a leg, or mentally they're just totally zombieized by war trauma. And I used my tool in that moment, which was actually the Ho'oponopono. And as I was moving with that, or allowing that to move in and through me, it became real clear in an experiential way that the tip of the root of whatever caused that maiming and that trauma, that wounding, in that place of surrender and willingness and love for myself and as love in a way that my mind will never understand. It's not there. I can laser beam that to the very root of what caused that trauma and that pain. There's something so potent there that my mind cannot wrap around it, but it is so real and so beyond any illusion of separation. And
yes,
here we are in these bodies that have to exercise and have to eat correctly and be mindful of things in the physical, yet this is here in and through these bodies. They're amazing rental cars that we have that are teaching us all the time and speaking to us and opening up a deeper meaning to things that otherwise are just more tidbits of facts and information that is really just chattery.
it's where everything becomes visible here in the physical. That's what it is. It's manifesting. It's all thoughts become crystallized into physical form. So what we experience collectively is the collective thought forms of humanity that are creating this experience we're having. That's why
Yes.
I believe the biggest contribution I can make right now, I admire activists. I admire people who fight for the environment and political arena and for medical freedom and all these things. But I am not working on that level. I'm more working on the level of the transformation of minds and hearts and consciousness. Because I believe as we shift into a new level of consciousness, that that these outer expressions on earth will automatically transform and change. The systems just reflect the current level of consciousness.
I hope this podcast episode was as touching and meaningful for you as it was for me. It's the third segment of a 4-part conversation with Angelika Schafer on rising through trauma into healing. In our next segment, we'll be relishing the power of consciousness and being part of the collective transformation happening now. We invite you to connect and have your own conversation with Angelika through songrise.live, songrise.live, or directly through her website at angelikahealingmusic.com. That's ANGELIKA Healing Music. Thank you for joining us on this episode of We Be the Change. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. We'd love to hear your thoughts and send you a surprise gift in appreciation for your time and for your interest in being the change. Just head on over to songrise.live. That's songrise.live. Go to the contact page and tell us which episode you just heard and any feedback that you might have. We'll respond with a gift just for you. And while you're there, check out the other resources, songs, and subscription choices with their bonuses too. Also, thank you in advance for your podcast ratings and reviews. These help us greatly. So until next week, this is Colleen Akiko, appreciating that you showed up here with us to be the change.